Let's talk Growlights! Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hi, hello, my name is Rose, my pronouns are she, her, and today we're gonna talk about Growlights, because I haven't updated you guys on this in a while. I have 7 types of Growlights in my house, and from some I have multiples. I've also had other ones that I showed you in previous videos. I'll link some up here of older videos, but some of those have already broken down and died quite quickly, so that's not great, which is why I don't recommend them anymore. All of the products that I do like are linked either in the description or on my website. Some of them are on my Amazon storefront, so I will make a small commission with every purchase that you make from it. Others are just a link. One especially that I really like, this one, you'll see it later. I buy them from a Dutch online web shop, and I don't know if they ship anywhere outside of Holland, so you can just copy the name from that web shop and then search for it in your country maybe. One more thing before we get started, I look very fluffy. I have been sick for about a week. I do feel better now, but I have headaches after having a nice day with my parents, so excuse the fluffy mess that is me today. I'm not ashamed of looking this way. Ooh, and it's really helpful if you give this video a thumbs up already. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would make me so happy. Thank you. Most of the Growlights that I have currently are in my living room. I also have a few upstairs and one in the back there that I'll show you. Let's start over here, because this is my favorite one. This is not actually a Growlight, it's a LED bar. So it's really affordable because it's not sold as a Growlight. They are very practical. They don't get very hot. It's slightly warm, but not hot at all. And it's very flat. So it's very practical. I have it in my terrarium as well, which I will show you in a moment. It does not come with a plug. So you have to buy separately for yourself a cord and like something that goes into the socket. What is the name of that? I don't know. But yeah, you have to buy that separately. But these are 10 euros. I will link it all below. Here is my Hoyas. Just a quick update to show you that even though this is not a grow light, it works very well, because I think a good sign is that my plants are actually sun stressing underneath it. See how nice and pink this plant is? This Hoya obscura has a really nice sun stress, which has been quite close to the light. And this Hoya viola as well. It's getting a little bit pinkish. Also, this one got a way too much light, I think. It's very almost burnt. And then here is another one. So overall, I think it works well because the plants are growing well and they are sun stressing. The second light that I have here, that's a little bit annoying because it's got the flashing happening. These are bulbs that I bought from Amazon. They are no longer available on the same page, so there's no point in me linking them. But literally it was only a bulb, and the light in there is pretty pinkish. It looks like this up close. Sorry for the flashes. But the light is, as you can see maybe here, this is much more white, bluish, and then this is more reddish pink a little bit, which some people do not like. I have another one of those here, same thing. And I actually tied these up with some iron wire because we wanted to make these shelves into grow light shelves. But how do you attach something that doesn't have a light fixture, kind of? Plants under here are also really happy. Actually, the Hoya Gunungading, I moved here just a few days ago, so that stress is from the top light, not from this one. These ones don't seem to sun stress here very much, unfortunately. This is Hoya Weibergier, which gets the pink purple splash. But if you look at the Erythrina, for example, that's just beautifully green and not sun stressed. So I think these are not super... Ooh, fun! Wait. I have this light meter that I also have linked on my Amazon storefront. I think it's a slightly different one because these are no longer available, at least in Europe. But this is great for you to see how bright a light can be for us, but then compared to how effective it is for plants. This is a light meter that works in foot candles or lux. I like to use foot candles because I kind of understand them better. It's a whole different video or like a whole different book if you want to know more about actual grow light strength and stuff, and there is a better way to test it than this, which is called PAR, P-A-R, but this is all way too detailed. We're just going to show you so that you can compare the two lights to each other, and I'll also show you the strength of the light in my windowsill. So here in my living room, it's 15 foot candles, which is about 5 meters away from the outside light. And then if I go right underneath this grow light, It's a little bit hard to show you. It's about 5,000 foot candle, which is a lot, right? And then if you go down a little bit, it goes down quite quickly to 2,500. And then where the plants are a little bit lower, it's about 700 maybe, if I aim it towards the light and not towards the camera. Yeah, it's about 700 foot candles. And then down here, which is even just a few centimeters more away, or inches, it's only 300. So that teaches you, and that's the same for all grow lights. It goes very quickly from high numbers right in front of this light. It's 8,000. So this bulb has more when you go straight in front of it, but it is a lot further away from the plants. So then if I go down, you see 5,000, 2,000. Here it's already 700, 400. So it's not a lot actually. Where the plants are down here, maybe 200 to 150 foot candles, which is not a lot for Hoyas. I didn't realize how different the light was, so I just moved this very burnt Hoya down here so it gets a little bit less light. Hopefully that's gonna help it. So again, on this side, it's like 7,000 close to the light, and then where the plants are down here, 200. So that's really not a lot. I'm surprised. I should move the plants a little bit closer, or maybe move the light a little bit down. The last light that I have in this shelf is this clamp light with 3 different arms with grow lights. Now this one I'm not very happy about. The lights itself have been going down a lot in the quality, so I had to switch out the USB plug that it plugs into. So these are not the best quality. I don't recommend them, but since I still have them, I have them here, just adding a little bit of light to some of the plants. Right in front of it, it's about almost 2,000 foot candles. And then as I move it away to where the plants are, it's maybe 150 foot candles. So they don't offer a lot, but these plants are pretty low light plants. This is a nice fluffy one that I'm gonna plant into the terrarium later on. And here I have some isolated plants still that really don't need to be isolated anymore. Let me give you a sneak peek. You haven't seen these yet. So in here we have a beautiful Margravia that I got some cuttings from a friend, and I'm hoping to also pot these into the terrarium. And then this is a lipstick plant, which is interesting. I'm gonna leave this bag open so that they can get some fresh air for once. Why not? So that's it for this side. Inside my terrarium, my small terrarium, I can say now, I also have one of those light bars, the LED lights. It has done great. It's been in here for a long time already, and it's dealing really well with the high humidity. I do have the part where it connects outside, so that is not affected by the high humidity, which is perfect. It fit in there just right this way. I'm really, really happy about it. I've had some Hoyas that have sun stressed down here. I actually have, this is very exciting, which also no one has seen yet. These are my Anthurium regale propagations, stem cuttings that I took, and they are growing new leaves. Oh, wait, here's another one. Come on. See how cute that is? That's baby Reggie's, 2 of them. The last one hasn't grown yet, so there's 3 in total. Pink princesses are growing towards it and getting nice pink, which is nice. And overall, it's just a great place. It's not too bright, but it's bright. And actually Caspar, which some of you guys may remember, this is my Florida Ghost, which used to be very nice and white. He was sitting back there, and because the pink princess and everything are getting a lot bigger, he's getting a lot less light. You'll see it if I move it back. There's a lot less light on him than when he's in the front, and I kind of wanted the leaves to go a little bit more white again, so I move it in front of the terrarium, which is not ideal when my boyfriend is home, but he's away right now, so I don't mind this plant sitting kind of in the middle of the living room. The next one is the brightest light that I currently own. This is actually not very useful at all. I don't recommend it for people who grow anything other than maybe vegetables or weed, which I don't. I know I am Dutch and living in Holland, but I really don't have any interest in weed or anything to do with that. I love plants, but not so much vegetables or those other ones. I don't know if I should say that so many times because I might get demonetized. But I was trying to talk about this grow light, which is from Mars Hydro. A lot of you have seen my video unboxing it maybe a long time ago. I used to have it in my grow tent, but it just is way too bright in my I didn't open the glass yet. In my grow tent, I used to have a shelf underneath, right underneath, with literally see-through tins that you can use in the oven with water in them to up the humidity, but also to block the light because it was so bright, way too bright. In here though, as a temporary setup for my terrarium, it works quite well. I will show you the measurements. I don't know if I can show you this because it's so bright and I'm blinded. Hold on. I am blinded. Can we see this? What does it say? I cannot see it because it's too high. I had to watch that back on my screen to see what it said. All the way down here where my anthuriums are, it's about 600, which is still a lot for anthuriums. You can also see that this villanorum, ooh, getting a nice echo. My villanorum is very light compared to the previous leaves. But this, ooh, the mister is going on, hold on. This beautiful queen leaf came out while it was in here, and it's still floppy and it's beautiful. Look at the ears. It's got a lot more defined sinuses right now. Very happy about that. Reggie put out this leaf, which is a little bit smaller, but that's okay. So these are in here just temporarily. The next lights that I will use in here are actually the same ones that I have in my terrarium, so the less bright ones. But for now, it's okay. All the way down here, we have about 400, which is still a lot actually. That's still intense for anthuriums. You can go down to like 200 and they'll still be happy, from what I've understood from Daryl. If you don't know Daryl, his name is Houseplant Journal on Instagram and his website as well. And he takes a very scientific approach to plant growing, and I really find it very useful. He has this sheet with all the possible plants that you might have and then the numbers of foot candles, so you can see what the average would be for your plant. But to be clear, I do not recommend this light because it's so bright for our plants, and also it gets really warm. It takes up a lot of energy, and yeah, I don't recommend. Look how beautiful it is with the mister going. We have one more type of grow light in the living room here, which is new to me. I got this from Elho when I was visiting their factory and getting a tour, the influencer event, very fun. So these are little grow lights on a stick that you can expand if you need to, so you can make it longer. And what I really do like about them, the plug that's down there, if you plug it in, it will automatically have a timer of 15 hours on and then off for a while. So I plug this in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then at 11 it switches off automatically. Also, how beautiful is my gloriosum right there? It's making a new leaf. This has nothing to do with grow lights. Oh, actually it does, because I can show you what light it gets there. So if we just assume there's no grow light for this plant, here, this is my Plowmani, by the way. There's a new leaf that's getting nice and big and pillowy as well. It's beautiful. For summer up here it was fine, but now it's getting a little bit too little light. So like 10 foot candles, which is way too little. And then underneath here, 300. So that's amazing. I should actually pull that out a little bit more so that it actually, let's do the thing that I did before. So right in front of it, 2,700, and then down to where the new growth point is 300. If we pull this out a little bit more, the big leaves will get the light, which might be more useful right now for this plant, since the thing that I was pointing it at is the new growth point that doesn't have a leaf yet, so it doesn't necessarily need that. Let's see if it's got quite a long cord, which is very helpful. So this leaf before had almost nothing. Now it gets 200 almost. That's great. Much better than the 10 it got before, and this gets about 50. So actually that's a better setup. I should have done that earlier. But that does make them very versatile to use. You just stick it into the pot and then plug it in. I don't necessarily like the pink purplish color that it gets. It's a little bit ugly. It's hard to see today because it's daylight. But still, if it makes my plants happy throughout winter, it's definitely worth it. These actually put out a very soft blue light when they're supposed to be switched off, which I checked with their head office, and they say that that is normal. That is how the light works. So don't be scared when you see a blue light in the middle of the night. The other thing that's important to show you here is the amount of light that a regular sunlight, or not really sunlight because it's really gloomy today. It's gray, there's clouds, there's rain, there's wind, but still, you know what I mean. So Apple, my gloriosum, is getting about 30 foot candles right here, which is not a lot. I think for winter I might have to move it into my south-facing windowsill, which gets a lot more light. As you can see here, the plants here get about 200 foot candles, 250 on a gloomy day. I have measured in here during the summer, like height of summer, full sun is about 6,000 foot candles. And that may have to do with a building that is kind of blocking the light in my space. Ooh, by the way, we have a really, really nice new plant here, new leaf here. I don't know if you can see, but this is variegated Sabrina leaf that is half, this part is going to be yellow. And here you can see the parts that are going to be mottled green. Very beautiful. And part of my success with growing alocasias is actually that I have so much natural light that is a lot, because they need a lot more light than other aeroids. Moving on to the next grow lights that I have, we're gonna go upstairs. Here I have another south-facing window, so that's nice and bright. And I have a little box here that doesn't need a grow light because it is in the south-facing window. I actually move this when it's really sunny because it gets way too hot in here. That's something you have to take into account when you have a south-facing window. It gets very hot. North-facing windows can get very cold. Ferry is living up here now. He's also happy because we have a skylight, so that helps him out. In here, sorry, still out of breath because I have been sick, is my Mars Hydro grow tent. This is not sponsored by them at all, especially if you hear my opinion in a minute. So in here I have my second Mars Hydro LED grow light. This one is a square shape and it has a dimmer, which is why I like it a lot more than the other one. Hold on, switching off my fans for noise. This one actually is not working well anymore because when it's dimmed, it's hardly doing anything. And when it's full force, it's not as bright as it should be. Interesting. It looks like my phone just completely adjusted the light setting here, so you don't notice what I'm doing at all. Sorry about that. Plus, it's been flickering a lot. And of course, it's not doing it right now, but I used to have this on about 25% to have the same amount of light, and now it's at 100, and there's just, I don't know what is wrong with it, but I think, yeah, there's some connection that may be wrong or something. Still, I have some shelf thingies up here to block light coming too brightly on some of my Hoyas, because these babies that I just posted on Instagram today, they were tacoing before like this, getting way too much light. And now that I've changed the setup, they're much happier, and you can see how beautiful the leaves are. This is Hoya Waimanii. And then I have a little shelf so that this is glass, but still it blocks a little bit more light so that the Monstera obliqua underneath doesn't get burned, and some of my philodendrons and stuff. This is my new Splendid, which is beautiful. Look at that velvet. Although the Monstera has climbed up underneath and now is bathing in the bright light directly. Also here, Gloriosum baby and Melanochrysum baby that's hungry. And all the baggies, I always get this question. These are predatory bugs that I use to prevent pests, and they are amazing, and they are from Entocare, which I will link down below as well, and I have them linked on my website. I was hoping it was gonna flicker because it always does that, but of course it doesn't do it now. But usually it's like a strobe light in here, and only now it's doing the normal thing. I actually messaged them several times asking why my light was flickering so much. Never got an answer, so yeah, thanks for the great service. And when we measure this one, right up front of it, it says about 5,000. And then going down a little bit, 3,000. Wait, what does it say? 900, 600. So my Hoyas are getting about 600 foot candles. And then down here where the aeroids are underneath the shady thing, it's about 180, which is great. Even all the way down here where it's only about 30 foot candles, the Melanochrysum is growing nicely, so still pretty good. Just to compare, in my north facing window, directly in front of the window, it's about 450, 500 foot candles, which my Marantas love, and some of the cold loving Hoyas as well, because it just doesn't get so warm here. Hello Maggie, are you going to show us the last two grow lights? Actually lied, I have 8 different kinds. I forgot this one. It doesn't look very happy right now. Hold on. What happened to you? It collapsed. Why did you collapse? Oh no. This one is definitely dead. That's not great. I think I need to water this. Anyway, there's a little tiny growlight in these terrariums. I have made a video about these and I will show it to you hopefully soon when they are back in stock, which is why I haven't showed you the making of this thing yet. Oh, look at all of them. They're starting to really wilt. That's bad. This was my favorite one. I'm gonna water this right after I film this video. Oh, all of them have melted. That's bad. That's my mistake. Sorry, little guys. Look at how pretty they were. Whoops. Okay, let's continue, right, Max? For this next one, I need to climb from the stairs onto the attic. All right. Maggie really is your guy today. Hey, Max. What do you have to say about these last Growlights? She's adorable. So the lights in here are actually from Hema, and they were very affordable. They were about 10 euros each, but they're very purple, as you can see, hopefully. And they're not very strong at all. So hold on, I'm stuck. So in here, when I take off the lid, we made this ourselves. So we just tied these up onto the lid. These are little LED lights. I just have them here as additional lighting for in winter. In general, these don't need that much light. And you can actually see, this is my box with crystallinums that I grew out from tiny babies or even seeds, some of them. Or you can see here, can you? No. So see how light this anthurium leaf is? They're supposed to be really dark, a little bit more like this one. So that's due to a lot of light. There's a little baby one here as well. Adorable. But yeah, these should get a little bit less light. I actually moved the box a little bit further away because there's also a skylight here. And so I was pushing it more like to the side, and I turn it around to also give the back leaves a little bit more light. But these lights I definitely don't recommend. I had them still and I kind of didn't want to waste them. So that's why I have them on here. Oh, do you want to see the test thingy? Let's do it. Right in front of the grow light. 800 I saw before, if you're lucky. 700. Oh, I saw 11. Did you see that? So it's not a lot. And then when the plants are down here, it's already down to 100. See how fast that went? 800, 400, 100. Hey, Maggie. So yeah, I don't recommend these. I just don't want to throw them away since I already had them. And that's actually the case for several of these lights, which hopefully I've made clear. The only ones that I'm happy that I bought were the bulbs from Amazon, which are no longer available. You have to be lucky with which bulbs you buy. And then the LED, the long thin ones that are only 10 euros that aren't officially grow lights, which have worked really well for me. The other ones I could do without, even though it kind of looks very cool right now because my kitchen looks like there's a bright sun shining in it, which is kind of cheerful in autumn when the light starts to go, and as soon as you come down it feels very sunny, like you're on holiday or something. So that's kind of good about the big light. But I didn't tell you yet that big light doesn't have a dimmer, and you can't use a dimmer on it separately, so that makes it kind of unuseful for houseplant lovers. Thank you so much to the people who requested this video. I hope it was useful and I hope I answered some of you guys' questions. The recommendations, like I said in the beginning of the video, are linked on my Amazon storefront, which is also linked in the description below. And the ones that are not on Amazon, I also have the link down there. Let me know if you ever use grow lights, if you find them useful or if you don't like them, if you like the look of them. The bright sun in your house might be good for seasonal depression. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Maggie and I selected some videos that we think you might enjoy, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, friends!